Even if you think you're logical, even if you think you're a skeptic, you might still be living in this cave. Are we seeing the truth or just its silhouette? Today's caves are not made of stone. Are you living in a cave? Imagine you have lived your whole life in one room. No windows, no doors, just a blank wall in front of you. And all you have ever seen are shadows dancing on that wall. Cricket matches, weddings, news, debates, maybe even Big Boss and CID at the same time. You've never seen the real people or objects, just these 2D shadows. Now, here's the twist. You think those shadows are real life. Welcome to the world of Plato's cave, and maybe yours too. And here is the uncomfortable bit. Even if you think you're logical, even if you think you're a skeptic, you might still be living in this cave. Let us see if you are in this video. Hello, I'm Anand and you're watching Pale Blue Thoughts, the channel which shines a sharp light on superstition, pseudoscience and blind belief and makes you think. "2,400 years ago, one of history's famous thinkers said, life is like being chained up in a cave, forced to watch shadows flitting across a stone wall." That is actually what Plato suggested in his Allegory of the Cave, found in Book 7 of the Republic, in which he envisioned the ideal society by examining concepts like justice, truth, and beauty. So, here is the scene that Plato set in his book. In Plato's version, the room is a cave. The people inside are chained so they can't turn their heads. Behind them burns a fire, and between that fire and their backs, there is a raised platform where other people pass by carrying various objects. The fire projects shadows of these objects on the wall, and the prisoners spend their lives naming, analyzing and debating those shadows, convinced that mastering these flickers will help them understand life. They don't know they are looking at illusions. For them, shadows are the truth. One day, by chance, one prisoner breaks free. He turns around, stumbles out of the cave and into the daylight. At first, the brightness stabs his eyes, like walking out of a movie theater at noon. He wants to run back in, but slowly his eyes adjust. He sees trees, rivers, clouds, animals, people's faces, the real sources of the shadows he once studied so seriously. And suddenly, his old world feels small. This isn't just an ancient thought experiment. It is today's social media feeds, political spin, WhatsApp forwards, miracle cures, and celebrity gossip, all prophesied by Plato in the 4th century BCE. Even the things that we chase, fame, the perfect partner, the high status job, can be shadows projected by culture. We get so used to these images that we forget to ask, are we seeing the truth or just its silhouette? Now, here is where it gets tricky. The freed prisoner returns to tell the others, but now he is used to sunlight, so the shadows look blurry to him. He stumbles in the dark. The others laugh. "See, you went out there and came back blind." They mock him, reject his story, and cling harder to the wall. Sounds familiar? It is like trying to convince that WhatsApp uncle or aunt that a WhatsApp miracle cure doesn't work, or that horoscopes can't predict promotions, or that homeopathy and Ayurveda are useless, and you are met with ridicule. Now, let us cut to today's reality. Today's caves are not made of stone. They are made of algorithms, TV channels, WhatsApp groups, and YouTube recommendations. The wall, that is your phone screen. Recognize any of these? A WhatsApp forward claiming NASA confirmed an ancient mantra heals DNA. A celebrity pushing a miracle detox tea. A political slogan that makes it sound like one villain caused every problem. An astrology app warning you not to travel today. See them often enough, and they start to feel real. The fire is whatever is fueling the illusion. Algorithms to keep you scrolling, TV channels chasing ratings, astro apps that entice you with a free first chat. The people carrying objects are the politicians who get your vote, advertisers who would sell even the sun, godmen who get your money, TV anchors who get their paycheck when you stay angry, and that one beautiful influencer selling get-rich-quick tips on Instagram just for your views and likes. Everything you see that feels like the whole truth but isn't. A family spends thousands on a Vastu consultant but never checks the wiring of the house. A TV debate where 8 people shout for an hour but no one answers the question. A horoscope app telling you not to marry your girlfriend because Uranus is in retrograde. They are just shadows. They disappear the moment you step outside into the sunlight, into the realm of science and reality. And here is the truth. No one chooses to start in the cave. It is where we happen to be born. But staying there, that is entirely up to us. And here is the hardest truth. We stay because it is comfortable. Inside, the world is simple. Heroes and villains. Good and bad. Outside, it is too much messy, too much light. Plus, everyone we know is here. If we leave, we risk standing alone. And no one likes saying, I was wrong. It is like growing up eating only Maggi noodles and thinking you're the next master chef, the peak of culinary achievement. Then one day you taste biryani, sushi, dosa, tacos, and Maggi suddenly feels like a shadow of what food can be. Now, you can't drag someone out of the cave by force. If they're not ready, they will hate you for it. The smarter way, ask questions. Not to trap them, but to think together. Start with, none of us knows everything. Let us figure it out. That is where real thinking begins, by admitting we don't have all the answers. Caves today aren't just online. They are in beliefs like your worth depends on your skin color, or your caste or religion decides your destiny, or that a godman's blessing will fix your business. If it is written in the stars, then it must be true. It is all written in our holy books. All shadows, all projections, all waiting to be questioned. Stepping out of the cave is like trading a black and white TV for the real world in 4K. It is overwhelming at first, messy, glaring, sometimes painful, but once you have seen the colors, you can't go back to shadows. So here is how you start seeing sunlight. Pause when something feels too perfect. Ask, do I like this because it is true or because it agrees with me? Ask, who gains if I believe this? Talk to someone you disagree with, not to argue, but to understand their world. And be okay with saying, I don't know. That is not weakness. That is adjusting your eyesight. Plato's cave isn't asking you to reject everything. It is asking you to tell the difference between shadows and reality. To look at what you believe and ask, is this the whole truth or just a part of it? Sometimes the cave is a YouTube algorithm feeding you what you already agree with. Sometimes it is a tradition no one questions. Sometimes it is just comfort. So why does Plato's cave still matter in 2025, 2400 years after Plato wrote about it? Because the cave is now in your pocket. Your wall is your social media feed. Your shadows are the posts, videos and headlines designed to hold your attention, not to show you the truth. If you don't step out, you would only ever see the part of the world that someone else chooses for you. And just like those prisoners, you will think that is all there is. But the moment you step outside, read widely, check sources, ask hard questions, you see more. And once you have seen more, you can't unsee it. That is why it matters. So you can live in the real world, not just watch its shadows. So that is Plato's cave for you. Learning to tell the difference between the shadow and the source, and choosing not to live in the shadows. Now that you have watched this video completely, pause for a moment and think, are you living in a cave? If yes, what kind of a cave is it? Comment below and let me and everyone else know. Don't worry, you won't face what Socrates faced for speaking the truth. And while you're at it, like the video, reply to other people's comments and keep the conversation alive. The more we talk, the more light we let in. Next time, we'll talk about a dead horse. You don't know what that is yet, but trust me, you will want to. So, subscribe if you like similar content, and you will see me in the next one.